Well, my name is Derek Johnson. I'm a solution manager for our SAP Business Planning Consolidation solution, and this is our 10.1 release for NetWeaver, where we're looking at how to use our new unified model to perform a sales revenue planning scenario. So this is our 5th video of a 12-part series. So as part of this scenario, we're going to be creating a business process flow. So for those users that are familiar with our Business Warehouse Integrated Planning solution, as well as our Planning Application Kit, commonly called PAC, this will be a new capability that you'll have using our Business Planning and Consolidation solution. So at a high level, business process planning allows us to create very repeatable processes which we can organize large groups of people to perform different planning activities. So in this case, we're going to be doing our sales revenue planning. So the first step we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a step to set the work status for the region of data for which we're doing our planning. So this is going to be setting the work status so that we can indicate that we are planning in a particular region of data, in which case it'll be our 2014 year, a particular planning version of B01, as well as for a particular country that we're doing our planning for. So we could have done, multiple countries in different time periods as well, but for this example, we've kept it pretty straightforward. So the advantages of using a business process flow is really to make our planning processes repeatable. So we're creating a template here in this step, in which case we'll deploy that. We can create multiple templates, as well as we can deploy this multiple times. So if we want to plan for different regions as well, we can use this same generic template as part of that process. So now we've created our work status. In this case, we're going to be setting our year, we're going to be setting our version, as well as our country as part of this process. So after we're done with this, we're going to save our values here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create an additional process where we're going to create a copy of our sales revenue plan. So we're going to use another version of our revenue plan to create our version for our 2014 plan. And to do this, we're going to give this activity a name and description, which we're doing here, and then we'll need to associate that with a report or input schedule that we've previously created. So as part of this activity, we're going to select a driving dimension. So we're going to be doing our planning by country, and then we're going to be selecting who should be performing this activity as well. So as part of this, we've now selected our country, and then we'll select our person that will be performing it. In this case, it'll be the owner, and this owner is defined as a property of our country. So this allows us to, as part of a planning process, to create a lot of activities that can be distributed to many different people so that they can execute their piece of the planning process. So as part of this activity, we're going to now assign a workbook that we've created in Analysis for Office as part of this activity. So we'll provide a name as well as a description. So after we've provided a name and description, we'll now need to indicate what type of activity they're going to perform, and that'll be their target action. In this case, we want them to open up a report that we've created inside of Analysis for Office. So we have a workbook that's been created as outside of this demonstration, but we'll use that to connect into it. So you can also see that we could have connected this directly to a query as well. So now we'll specify the name of the workbook, and then we'll save this activity as well. So when people go into create copies of their plan, they will now be able to open up the correct workbook and perform this step in a very easy and efficient manner. So the next step that we're going to be creating is we're going to be creating a step where we can start to adjust our sales revenue plan. So in the previous step, we've created our baseline plan. So now we'll be doing our adjustments. So we'll be creating a name as well as a description for this activity. And this is to provide, further insights as to the person that is performing this activity as to what activities are expected to them as part of this process. So we're going to be selecting as our driving dimension of country. In this case, we'll be selecting a particular country for this particular process, and then we'll be assigning who we'd like to perform this activity. So in this case, what we'd like to do is assign the owner, which is a property of our country, and then we'll need to set the particular step or activity that we'd like them to perform as part of this activity. So in this case, we've previously created a web input schedule, and we've assigned that web input schedule as part of our team folder structure. So we're going to be using the same input schedule as part of this activity to make our adjustments. So we've created our name as well as a description, and then we will set our target action, which is what activity we'd like to perform as part of this process. And then we'd need to select that we're going to be opening up a web input schedule. So in order to select the particular web input schedule we'd like to use, we'll hit the Browse button, in which case we can easily select the report that we would like to use. In this case, it was the same report or input schedule that we saved as part of our team folder structure. So once we've made that assignment, we can then save that as well. And the last activity is we're going to set the reviewer for this activity, and the reviewer in this case is going to be the person that's reviewing the overall process and will give their overall approval. So once we're done with this, we can then save the process and template as well so that it can be deployed in future planning processes.